Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. Selamat datang dan terima kasih saya ucapkan kepada para hadirin yang hadir pada hari ini bagi menyaksikan pembentangan kertas penyelidikan dalam persidangan Pedagogi dan Pendidikan Guru PedaTEd 2025 ZON UTARA. Sebelum itu, izinkan saya memperkenalkan diri saya. Terlebih dahulu, saya Dr. Muhammad Aiman bin Ismail selaku moderator anda pada hari ini. Hadirin yang dihormati sekalian, Alhamdulillah, syukur kehadrat ilahi kerana dengan izinnya dapatlah kita bersama-sama pada pagi ini bagi mengikuti slot pembentangan kertas penyelidikan dalam persidangan Pedagogi dan Pendidikan Guru PedaTEd 2025 ZON UTARA. Hadirin hadirat sekalian, persidangan ini menyediakan satu platform untuk ahli akademik, penyelidik, siswazah dan pelajar membentangkan kertas penyelidikan dalam bidang penyelidikan masing-masing. Di samping itu, persidangan ini turut memberi peluang kepada pembentang dan peserta untuk berkongsi dan bertukar idea dan pengalaman baharu serta mewujudkan rangkaian dan jaringan penyelidikan sebagai laluan mengadakan kerjasama pada masa akan datang. Terlebih dahulu sedikit garis panduan pembentangan. Masa yang diperuntukkan ialah 10 minit untuk sesi pembentangan melalui tayangan video dan juga 5 minit untuk sesi soal jawab. Sebelum kita memulakan sesi pembentangan, izinkan saya memperkenalkan barisan panel penilai kita pada hari ini. Panel penilai pertama ialah Yang Bersama Dr. Vivi Marlin S. Budin, manakala panel penilai kedua ialah Puan Jacinta Johnny. Setinggi-tinggi penghargaan dan ucapan terima kasih diucapkan kepada kedua-dua panel penilai kerana sudi meluangkan masa bersama kita bagi menilai dan memberi pandangan terhadap pembentangan kertas penyelidikan pada hari ini. Tanpa melengahkan masa, saya mempersilakan pembentangan pertama yang akan disampaikan oleh Syasha Akilah binti Masali dari IPG Kampus Tuanku Bainu dengan tajuk pembentangan Leveraging Digital Content to Support Pronunciation Development Kembang Year 4 ESL Pupils. Dengan segala hormatnya, dipersilakan.
And a very good day. My name is Syasha Akilah binti Masali, and today I will be presenting my research entitled Leveraging Digital Content to Support Pronunciation Development Among Year 4 Pupils. This research looks at how a platform pupils already enjoy, which is TikTok, can be transformed into an educational tool to improve their English pronunciation. In Malaysia, English is considered a second language, but is vital for global communication and future opportunities. Among all its skills, pronunciation is key because without clear pronunciation, even strong vocabulary or grammar can lose its effectiveness. Unfortunately, pronunciation is often overlooked in primary classrooms. Pupils frequently struggle with articulation, stress, and intonation, while some teachers themselves lack confidence in teaching this skill. Traditional approaches such as drill and repetition have long been used, but pupils today often find them boring. In contrast, TikTok is part of pupils' daily lives. It offers authentic pronunciation models in short, engaging videos that match their learning styles. This study therefore explores how TikTok Reels can support pronunciation development among Year 4 ESL pupils. Moving on to the problem statement. To summarize, pronunciation remains a major challenge in Malaysian classroom due to limited exposure and traditional, less engaging teaching approaches. TikTok offers potential, but its use with younger learners is rarely studied. The main objective of this research was to evaluate the improvement in Year 4 pupils' pronunciation after using TikTok Reels. The research question was, to what extent has pronunciation improved after implementing TikTok Reels in ESL classrooms? This study contributes in 4 key ways. First, it explores TikTok as innovative in ESL pedagogy. Second, it provides authentic exposure to native-like pronunciation. Third, it builds pupils' confidence and digital literacy. And lastly, it addresses the research gap since very few studies in Malaysia focus on pronunciation in primary schools. These points underline why this research is both relevant and timely. Moving on to the operational definition, TikTok Reels are short in-game videos, initially 15 seconds and now up to 90 seconds. On the other hand, pronunciation skills are the ability to articulate words with accurate stress, intonation, and sounds. Well, pronunciation has long been underemphasized in classrooms, often leading to fossilized errors that pupils carry into later learning. Digital platforms like TikTok, however, provide authentic auditory input, scaffolding, and higher motivation. Most past studies link TikTok to gains in vocabulary, confidence, and oral skills, but many focus on older learners. This research addresses the need for structured study at the primary level. This study is also anchored in the audiolingual method. This method emphasizes repetition, imitation, and automatic fluency. TikTok supports these principles by giving people repeated, authentic pronunciation models to copy. This helps them internalize rhythm, stress, and intonation more naturally than traditional drills. This research followed chemist and McTaggart's action research model, which consists of 4 stages: plan, act, observe, and reflect. The sample for this study was 29 Year 4 pupils comprising 11 boys and 18 girls, which I had previously taught them in Year 3, so I was familiar with their learning styles. This familiarity reduced classroom disruptions and made data collection smoother. Year 4 is also known to be a crucial stage for oral communication, making it a suitable group for this intervention. 2 instruments were used in this study. The first one was pronunciation checklist. There were 3 checklists being used: checklist A, B, and C, for pre-test and post-test in each cycle. The next one was a pronunciation rubric, which ensured consistent scoring of articulation, stress, and intonation. The intervention lasted 3 consecutive days. Each day formed 1 cycle, starting with pre-test, followed by TikTok-based activities, and ending with the post-test. This allowed me to monitor short-term gains while keeping the process manageable. For the data analysis, I used a quantitative descriptive approach, comparing pre- and post-test scores across 3 cycles. The results showed steady improvement, especially in articulation, intonation, and stress, with the strongest gain appearing in the later cycles. The findings showed clear and consistent improvement across all 3 cycles. Cycle 1, participants improved moderately with familiar words. This set the foundation and helped them adjust to the new method. Cycle 2, participants made larger improvements, demonstrating how authentic TikTok models supported more accurate articulation and stress patterns. Cycle 3, the most significant gains occurred here. Even when given more complex and unfamiliar words, participants' pronunciation improved dramatically. Overall, the data confirms that TikTok reels were more effective than traditional drills. These results highlight several important points. First, TikTok reels are not just entertainment. They can be transformed into valuable teaching tools. Pupils improved in articulation, stress, and intonation, but just as importantly, they also gain confidence when speaking English. Second, the findings suggest that consistent exposure to authentic models matters more than mechanical drills. Pupils were more engaged, and this engagement translated into better learning outcomes. Finally, the results support existing claims in the literature that digital tools foster motivation, accessibility, and richer opportunities for oral language development. For teachers, this means that when we align pedagogy with pupils' digital habits, pronunciation practice becomes both effective and enjoyable. In conclusion, the use of TikTok reels enhanced pronunciation, increased pupils' confidence, and made the learning process more enjoyable. Although the study was limited to 1 classroom, it demonstrates TikTok's strong potential as a pedagogical tool in ESL education. Future research with larger groups and different contexts could expand on these findings. But what is clear is that pronunciation practice does not need to be repetitive or tedious. To sum up, innovation in teaching, when matched with learners' interest, can transform classroom practice. TikTok, therefore, is not only a platform for entertainment, but also a practical resource to support clearer, more confident communication among pupils. And that is all for me. Thank you.
Terima kasih diucapkan kepada pembentang 1. Sekarang kita buka sesi soal jawab. Dipersilakan.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Doctor.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Shasha Akila binti Masali, right?
Yes.
Okay, that was a very good presentation, a well-structured and engaging presentation from what I have seen from your video. However, I do have one question. Yeah, okay. You've mentioned using TikTok as part of your research, okay, but the title focuses on leveraging digital content in a broader sense. Okay, so can you elaborate on why you specifically chose to incorporate TikTok into your action research and what unique features of the platform, such as its short form video format or etc., you believe can make it particularly effective and or challenging for developing pronunciation among young ESL learners? Do you need me to repeat your question, or did you manage to get what I'm trying to ask here?
Yes, I managed to get what you want to
All right.
ask. Okay,
Okay.
thank you so much for the questions, first of all. So I chose TikTok because, as I mentioned in the presentation just now, they are short, engaging, and widely used by young learners, and especially Generation Alpha or Generation Z, they are very familiar with TikTok, even though we don't really ask them, or we don't have to teach them how to actually navigate TikTok. And I believe they are really, really interested in that platform itself. And there are numerous studies that shows these younger generations, they are very, very familiar with it and most likely to use TikTok instead of Instagram or any other platforms. And hence, that is why I chose TikTok as my digital tools or my intervention for my studies.
All right. Thank you. That was clear. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, Ms. Shasha, and thank you, Doctor. I just would like to talk a little bit about the digital content of choice for this particular research, which is TikTok. Well, we are all aware at that tender age, learning how to articulate words properly is imperative. Well, you see, TikTok is a double-edged tool, double-edged weapon. If used appropriately and in a controlled environment, I'm sure students as young as year 4 pupils, they are 10 years old, supervised, they would use TikTok properly to learn. But not supervised, I guess we just have to be a bit more careful there. This is just my personal point of view. But still, thank you very much, Miss Shasha Akilah from IPG Campus, Tuanku Bainu. Seterusnya, saya mempersilakan pembentangan kedua iaitu Tarsini Anak Perempuan R. Jayasila daripada IPG Campus Tuanku Bainu dengan tajuk pembentangan beliau Improving Year 3 ESL Pupils Mastery of Indefinite Articles Using Phonics-Based Audio-Visual Module. Dipersilakan.
Panel, esteemed lecturers, and my fellow audiences. My name is Tarshini Anak Perempuan R. Jaislin from Institute of Teacher Education, Tuanku Bainu Campus. Today, I'm honored to present my study entitled Improving Year 3 ESL Pupil Mastery of Indefinite Articles Using a Phonics-Based Audiovisual Module. Articles in English, though seemingly small, plays a crucial role in grammar. They are used constantly, and yet research shows that they do remain a source of persistent difficulty for non-native and L2 speakers worldwide. So this challenge here is no stranger to us in Malaysia. While the misuse of indefinite articles do continue to appear repeatedly in the work of our primary pupils, as documented by Govindaraju et al. In 2022. And despite early exposure, the errors here remain stubborn, affecting both pupils' writing and speech. So one promising pathway that could be deduced is the audiovisual method, or AVM. The AVM provides pupils with synchronized audio and visual stimuli. So this allows them to make direct associations between sounds, images, and meanings, transforming grammar from something abstract into something that is totally seen, heard, and experienced. Let us begin with the problem statement. In Malaysian ESL classrooms, the use of and N remains a major stumbling block actually. Why? Because pupils often rely on spelling instead of sound producing errors like N uniform or hour. And their first languages like Malay, Mandarin and Tamil also lack an article system, giving them no anchor to transfer from the L1 to L2. Now, ladies and gentlemen, well, my research objective is to evaluate the effectiveness of phonics-based audiovisual module in enhancing ESL pupils' mastery of indefinite articles. And so the guiding research question is, how does the use of phonics-based audiovisual module contribute to ESL pupils' mastery of indefinite articles? Respected audiences, this study is significant because it tackles the root problems of spelling reliance and language one interference in Malaysian ESL classroom. It also provides a scalable model for teaching other grammar concepts where sound and meaning both intersect. Most importantly, by harnessing audio-visual strategies, it does not only boost engagement and accuracy, but also ensures that pupils of all proficiency levels achieve mastery. Allow me to briefly define some key terms as they are used in this study. By indefinite articles, this research refers specifically to and N, non-specific singular countable nouns, and is determined by the initial sound of the following word rather than its spelling. And the audiovisual module, or AVM, which refers to a phonics-based digital tool developed by the researcher that combines both audio and visual elements to help pupils master indefinite articles. Ladies and gentlemen, based on past research, Yoon and Lee 2020 found that indefinite articles are one of the most persistent grammar challenges here in Malaysia. And well, Govindaraju et al. Highlighted that this challenge is even greater since Malaysian pupils' first language use articles typically. Park in 2016 and Peng 2020 further observed that pupils often depend on spelling rather than sound, which explains errors like N university or hour. Whereas Helmut and Cushing 2020 added that grammar and phonology cannot be taught separately, but they must be integrated if we want to actually support real language development. And finally, Hassanov 2023 demonstrated how this integration can be achieved through audiovisual method. The study adopted a single cycle action research design guided by Kurt Lewin's 1946 model. In the planning stage, the recurring problems of pupils misusing indefinite articles was identified, and a phonics-based AVM model was actually developed. Later, during the action stage, the module was implemented over lessons beginning with a pre-test and followed by an interactive audiovisual activity. In the observation stage, pupils' accuracy, engagement, and participation were closely monitored. In the reflection stage, a post-test was administered and results were analyzed descriptively to evaluate their improvement. For sampling, the study involved 23 Year 3 pupils from a national type school in a semi-rural area. The main instrument used in this research study was an 8-term fill-in-the-blank worksheet. Data were collected across two 40-minute lessons. The first involved a pre-test followed by the AVM activities, listening to audio models, matching visuals, and practicing interactively. And the second time reinforced learning and ended with a post-test. For analysis, pre- and post-test scores were compared using descriptive statistics with graphs highlighting improvement. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the findings are impressive. Before the intervention, the pre-test results showed that 18 out of 23 pupils, approximately 78.3%, failed to reach mastery. Many depended heavily on spelling, producing errors like hour or N university, while others omitted the article altogether, with only 5 pupils managed to achieve the mastery benchmark. But the post-test results told a completely different story because every single pupil, yes, 100% of them actually achieved mastery. Well, 8 pupils scored a perfect 8 out of 8 marks, 13 scored 7 out of 8, while the remaining 2 scored 5 out of 8. From the findings, we can see the obvious truth, ladies and gentlemen. Audio-visual module did more than improve scores, because first, it turned abstract rules into something even concrete. As Fakih Abdullah in 2024 noted, grammar often feels distant, but with AVM, pupils could see, hear, and truly grasp it. Second, it broke the habit of relying on spelling. As Park 2016 and Teng 2020 warned, pupils follow letters, not sounds. So this AVM shifted their focus to phonology and not the actual spelling of the word. Thirdly, it gave them confidence. Pupils weren't just memorizing rules. They were reasoning. They were even correcting their peers. That's meta-linguistic awareness in action. So in short, the result concludes that the AVM wasn't just a corrective intervention. It was a transformative module. To conclude, ladies and gentlemen, This study has shown that a phonics-based audio-visual module can greatly improve Year 3 pupils' mastery of indefinite articles. By combining sound and visual support, the module made grammar, indefinite articles, more meaningful and easier to grasp for all pupils. Of course, while the immediate results are very encouraging, longer trials would be useful to confirm its effectiveness over time. Future research might also compare this module with a more traditional approach to see how it performs in different contexts. As such, ladies and gentlemen, this demonstrates that AVM approach effectively enhances pupils' mastery of indefinite articles and offers valuable insights for future classroom practices. Thank you.
Terima kasih diucapkan kepada saudari Tarsidi, pembentang 2 kita pada sesi ini. Sekarang kita teruskan dengan sesi soal jawab. Okay, persilakan.
Good morning. Well done, Tarshini, for a very interesting presentation on how phonology and how you bridge phonology and grammar through audio-visual model. Okay, so what I noticed is you did an action research design that was selected. So action research actually is a research design that is very relatable to teachers and educators, because the main aim is to improve our teaching through reflection, menambah baik amalan mengajar. So drawing on these principles of action research and the understanding that phonology and grammar are interconnected and not isolated, what major factor or key factor that you can share from your findings, which you can share with fellow teachers or fellow educators to help implement in their teaching, to help their pupils also to master phonology as generally or specifically learning articles.
Good day, madam. I really hope that you're having a great time today. Yes, madam. In order to further elaborate on the question, allow me to just clarify again, just so that I ensure that I've gotten your question right. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think your question is asking me to tell on some of the ways that I could propose to ensure that teachers can actually implement this intervention and ensure that phonology is being taught in a proper manner and ensure that people are able to acquire them. Correct, madam?
Through the findings of your, that means how AVM actually, because if I look at your results, it was from 78% to 100%. It's a very good success rate. So what are the like contributing factors there that actually helped you to give the success rate, so other teachers can also use that in their classroom?
All right, thank you so much, madam. This is based on my own personal experience as the researcher who has actually implemented the intervention. Somehow, I have to also mention that the intervention was developed by myself, and I've actually used it in my own classroom prior to this. So I would say that I efficiently utilized materials and also online materials in order to ensure that people are actively engaged. My participants are from 7 rural areas. So I have to ensure that I effectively measure and come up with a product that is appropriate to their level and language proficiency. In my pre-test, I was able to recognize, and also through earlier reflection stages, I recognized that my pupils had a very interesting challenge that similarly reflects the problem that is out there in Malaysia young ESL classroom. There is where students actually find university confusing with an hour and uniform. So this was an interesting concept, and I realized that other ESL teachers would also face the same thing. And this was where I strategically integrated both audio and visual. So I was there to lead and also utilize my material while also ensuring that my pupils will be able to actively understand and critically think and recognize that they had made some understanding before this, and this is how you should actually utilize year and end. Because pupils oftentimes first find that first they find that how to say, how do I mention this? Okay, they often rely on orthographic cues, on letters in order to write whether it is O or N. But we actually need to follow on phonological sound, need to listen to sound-based awareness in order to determine whether you write O or N. Secondly, my pupils are all Malay students, so they find that there are a lot of grammatical rules for them to transfer from their first language to the second language. So they say, I saw cat rather than I saw a cat. So when I able to integrate this intervention successfully in my classroom, there was a knowing realization amongst pupils. Pupils were able to say, this is how it works. They were correcting their peers. This is an orange rather than this is a orange because of the sound. Yeah, so I think this is an effective tool that teachers can integrate successfully, knowing that they're able to mitigate the substance that is happening in their classroom. They leverage it accordingly while also measuring the mastery benchmark according to their pupils' language proficiency, their learning objective of the time, and also the standard curriculum. I really hope I've answered your question, madam. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Jacinta and Miss Tasini. Well, Miss Tasini, I must say I'm quite fond of your research because you see phonics and 9-year-olds, year 3 ESL pupils, phonics and 9-year-olds, they go in tandem because we know in the indefinite articles involve consonants and vowels, so it will be interesting to see how we can actually take into consideration the other multiple intelligences. The usage of AVM, audio visual module, is good. So it will be interesting to see how we, like I said, take into consideration the other MIs. Right. Seterusnya, saya mempersilakan pembentangan ketiga oleh Saudari Aina Syamini binti Abdul Aziz daripada IPG Campus Pulau Pinang dengan tajuk pembentangan beliau Role of AI in Primary Mathematics Education, Perspective of Trainee Teachers. Silakan.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good morning. My name is Aina Syamimi binti Abdul Aziz and my ID is 030423011690 and I am from IPG Campus Pulau Pinang. So today I am excited to share my research on the role of AI in primary mathematics education perspective of trainee teachers. So this study explores on how AI can enhance teaching, the challenges faced during its integration, and how training teachers understand its role in primary school classroom. Okay, so as we all know, AI or artificial intelligence holds significant potential to improve education, particularly in primary mathematics. However, its application in this area remains underexplored, especially in teacher training institutions for future teachers. So this research aims to fill that gap by examining how training teachers perceive the role of AI and the challenges they face when integrating it into their classroom. Okay, understanding these factors is crucial for developing better teacher training programs that fully support AI integration. Okay, my main objective for this study are firstly, to examine how training teachers perceive the role of AI in teaching primary mathematics. Secondly, to identify the challenges they face when integrating AI into their teaching practices. And lastly, to explore whether there are any gender-based differences in perception and challenges related to AI integration. Okay. So, as we all know, AI or artificial intelligence is increasingly recognized as a valuable tool in education. Studies have shown that AI can personalize learning, provide immediate feedback, and engage students in problem solving. So, however, its use in primary mathematics education remains limited, particularly in countries like Malaysia. Okay, previous studies highlight challenges such as lack of resources, limited training, and the related disparities in technology adoption. So, these challenges emphasize the need for this study, which aims to understand how AI can be effectively integrated into primary mathematics education. Okay, so for this study, I employ a quantitative approach, which is a survey design. A structured questionnaire was distributed to 53 trained teachers at one of teacher education institute in Malaysia. Okay, so all participants were mathematics major with teaching experience at least one time practicum course. Okay, so the questionnaire was divided by 3 sections, which is first section is about their views of AI in education. Second section is its benefit and the challenges. Oh, sorry. The questionnaire was divided into 3 sections, which is first section is demographic data. Secondly, how their views of AI in education, which is its benefits, and lastly, the challenges they face when using AI. So the data collected were analyzed using descriptive statistics and inferential statistics, which is independent t-test. This t-test is to compare male and female trainees' perceptions and challenges. Okay. To summarize the data, we can see this is for descriptive statistics. Okay, we can see that table 2. I'm sorry, for table 3. Okay, the total mean scores construct. For the role of AI, the average mean was 4.26 out of 5. So this shows that most trainee teachers have a very positive views of AI and believe it can improve teaching and students' engagement. They feel that AI can help personalize learning, provide quick feedback, and enhance the learning experience. So, we also can see for the specific items, there are a total of 20 items here for this questionnaire. Okay, but we move to the challenges of AI, which is here. The average mean was 4, showing that while AI is seen positively, there are still significant obstacles to its use. So, some of the key challenges are we can see here lack of access of AI tools, lack of time to prepare, insufficient technical support. Okay. Okay. In addition to descriptive statistics, I also conducted inferential analysis to explore if there are any significant difference between these two gender, male and female trainees, in their perception of AI and the challenges they face when using it. So, to do this, I use independent sample t-test, which allows me to compare the mean score between these two different groups. So the result revealed that there was no, we can see here from table 5, there was no significant gender difference in how male and female trainees perceive AI roles in teaching primary mathematics. Both male and female trainees had similar views on the benefits of AI, including its ability to personalize learning, engage students, and provide immediate feedback. So this suggests that gender does not significantly influence how trainee teachers perceive the potential of AI in the classroom. However, when it comes to the challenges of integrating AI into teaching, the results were different. As we can see here, there was a significant difference between male and female trainees. So male trainees reported facing more challenges than their female counterparts. Okay, specifically, they expressed the concern about issues such as lack of training, technical difficulties, and insufficient resources to effectively implement AI. So this suggests that male trainees may feel less confident or face more barriers when it comes to using AI in their classroom. Okay, so based on the findings, I propose the following recommendations, which is firstly, teachers' education program should offer specialized workshop to build digital confidence and ensure all training teachers are equipped to use AI tools effectively. Secondly, schools should invest in the necessary technology and provide technical support to their teachers so that AI can be integrated smoothly into classroom. Okay, thirdly, given the gender differences in how training teachers perceive challenges, training programs should offer tailored support for those who feel less confident in using AI. Okay, last but not least, education policies should ensure that schools have the resources to support AI integration so that teachers have continuous opportunities for professional development. Okay, so in conclusion, this study shows that while training teachers sees AI as a valuable tool for enhancing primary mathematics education, there are still significant challenges to its integration, such as, like I said, limited access to tools and insufficient training. So, despite these challenges, the overall perception of AI is highly positive, and trainee teachers are eager to use AI to improve their teaching. So to make this as a reality, teacher education programs need to provide better trainings, school need to improve infrastructure and policies must support these changes. So with this effort, AI can play a transformative role in primary mathematics education. Okay, here are my references, and from that, that's all from me. Thank you.
Terima kasih diucapkan kepada saudari Aina, pembentang 3 kita. Sekarang kita teruskan dengan sesi soal jawab. Silakan.
Hello, Miss Aina Shamimi, right? It was a great and clear presentation on your behalf. Okay, however, I just have one question. Okay, so you mentioned about AI, the use of AI, which we believe is quite famous nowadays with the use of AI in education. All right. So my question would be, okay, so to prepare for future teachers to use AI effectively and responsibly, right? So based on your findings, okay, based on your findings, what are the key professional developments and ethical considerations, right, that need to be addressed to prepare future or trainee teachers to effectively and responsibly integrate AI into their mathematic lessons, right? So I wanted to hear a little bit more on this aspect because you mentioned about this in your findings as well in your discussion. So can you please elaborate? Thank you.
Hello, good morning. Can I ask question? Is it for ethical consideration?
Yes, it's on your take on key professional development because you mentioned about that as one of the suggestion, right? And then I would also like to know what are the ethical considerations that future teachers need to take into consideration of using AI in their mathematics lessons.
Oh, okay. Um, I for the recommendation for key development, I recommend to government investing in infrastructure, providing more training for teachers, and ensuring that AI tools are accessible and easy to use in primary school. For Teacher Education Institute program also should include AI literacy as a core subject in the curriculum. For the ethical consideration, um, I think um, uh, teachers should avoid any form of bias in integrating, for example, in data of her or his students. For example, as we know, AI can personalize learning for students. So teachers should take the data, like truly take the data without any form of bias, neutral, uh, like that.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Miss Aina. Thank you, Doctor, for the question. I believe my take on this is that basically AI enhances. Uh, they do not replace humans, and they definitely must not replace educators. So that's first and foremost. And while we are excited and eager to use AI in education and all other aspects of life, we must bear in mind that we are the ones that should be in control of AI, and therefore we must learn how to harness the impressive capabilities of AI. So we must ensure that AI will never replace us as educators, but at the same time, we must learn how to harness AI. So that's my take on this. An interesting topic. Well done, Miss Aina Syamini. And thank you. Terima kasih atas pembentangan-pembentangan yang menarik dan berinformasi. Tahniah dan syabas diucapkan kepada barisan pembentang yang telah membentangkan penyelidikan tadi. Hadirin yang dihormati, dengan itu berakhirlah pembentangan kertas penyelidikan dalam persidangan pedagogi dan pendidikan guru PedaTEd 2025 ZON Utara bagi slot ini. Sekian. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan terima kasih.